Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're talking about today is Warcraft II, Tides of Darkness. Oh man, if I were to name probably my personal favorite PC game of all time, it would have to be Warcraft II. Because take everything you loved about the first Warcraft and make it better, bigger, more colorful. I mean, everything has been improved in Warcraft II. Like, times 100, man. Now, honestly, I could probably talk about this game for hours, or probably even forever, but I'm probably going to keep it short for this video. Don't worry, guys. So if you watched my previous awesome video game memories about the original Warcraft Orcs and Humans, I kind of played the games in a kind of a weird order. In 1994 and 95, I played the demo of Warcraft, which came with my sound card that my dad bought. Then in 1996, I played the full version of Warcraft 2. And then in that same year, I went out and purchased the full version of Warcraft 1. Then in 97, I played Warcraft 2 The Dark Portal. So I kind of played the games kind of back and forth. So the first thing I noticed when playing this game was not only were the graphics more detailed and more colorful, the controls were much easier. Now I can just drag my mouse and select all my units. And I remember starting up this game and watching that really awesome opening cinematic. You know, seeing the orc ships go towards the human base, and you know, the humans getting the cannons ready, and holy shit, man, like, wow, like, I felt like I was playing something in the future, man. Like this full motion video looked great back in the day. Yeah, so with the improvement in the graphics and the controls, also came the massive improvement in gameplay. Like, you had so many more units for both races to choose from. I mean, like, you had the dwarves for the humans, and the elves with the archers, and for the orcs you had, the ogres, the two-headed ogres. I'm ready, master, I'm not ready. And then you had the trolls. What do you want me to keep? You're the boss. And man, you had and also, you had naval combat, you had air combat, you can attack from land, sea, or air. Man, this game was amazingly more massive than the previous Warcraft. Like, this game took a massive quantum leap over something that was already great but still flawed, and molded it into perfection with Warcraft II, Tides of Darkness. So I remember reading the manual for this game and really being blown away by the massive amount of detail in the story. Like, you had Orgrim Doomhammer now taking over Blackhand's place. And then I was really surprised to learn that the humans lost the war, and it took place 6 years after the previous war. And one of the craziest things about this game was, I remember in the first game, Lothar was one of the big heroes of the first game. And then in this game, he actually dies. Yeah, so Blizzard has kind of this knack for killing off their really popular heroes, especially when you get really attached to them, especially Lothar, and a couple of the Warcraft 2 heroes in Warcraft 3, which I won't spoil until I do the awesome video game memories on Warcraft 3. So one of the best things I liked about Warcraft 2, even better than Warcraft 3, is kind of more of the ambiguous storytelling. I mean, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, because, Warcraft 3, they had cutscenes to tell you what was going on. Where in Warcraft 2, you just got some cinematics, you had some mission descriptions, but you kind of had to kind of interpret the story for yourself. And I remember, there was a map inside the instruction manual, and so what I did when I was playing the game, and I played the game multiple times. So I printed out the map, and I would draw lines indicating where the armies were going and which armies were there, Lordaeron, the Horde, the other orc races who you're playing as. Yeah, I was pretty nuts about this game. Yeah, so one of my personal favorite missions in this game was during the Orc campaign, where Gul'dan, one of the warlocks for the Orcs, he betrays the Horde and he gets the Eye of Sargeras.
Gul'dan and his Stormreaver clan have betrayed the Horde!
And he goes to the Tomb of Sargeras, which is this really simple looking map in Warcraft 2. And they actually really expand upon this in Warcraft 3, which I found pretty cool, but that was actually one of my favorite missions in the original Warcraft 2. Yeah, so just like Warcraft 1, the difficulty of the missions tends to spike up kind of halfway through, but I actually found Warcraft 2 maybe a little bit easier than Warcraft 1, but I'll talk about the Dark Portal later. Like, I didn't find myself struggling with the missions as much in this game, as much as I did with Warcraft 1. And like, there were some missions where you were required to use the ships, you were required to go by air. One thing that really made this game a little easier for me was you can actually have like little dwarves or little goblins that explode, and I thought using those really helped. Like, I would have just like sent them. Like, there's this one mission for the human campaign where you're in the snow. You have to attack an orc base, and it's a little difficult to attack from the front. So what I did was I made like a lot of dwarves that could explode. So I would actually have them explode behind the trees behind their base, and then I built a barracks like right behind their base and started sending in my soldiers that way, which made it a lot easier than attacking the base from the front. Yeah, so I mentioned how cool the opening cinematic was, and you get all these really cool cinematics as you play the game, but my personal favorite one would have to be when you win the orc campaign, and they're like, "It's on!" and they storm the castle, and like the king is like, "Guards!"
Guards!
One thing that made me laugh so much was when like at the end of that cinematic was when like the orc and that guard like clash, and then the orc's just punching the shit out of that guard. For some reason that just cracked me up so much. It's so awesome when that orc just stands there like, "Arr, and you are the master of the horde." And so I remember reading that Warcraft 2 was going to get an expansion called Beyond the Dark Portal, and I was wondering, dude, how do you make this game, and like already perfect game, even better? So I bought the expansion, and I remember playing it and I'm like, wow, this expansion is really hard. Like, not only did they increase the difficulty, like for every mission, like they placed like 5 or 6 armies like all across the map ready to kill you like any instant. So like you really had to make sure you balanced what type of soldiers you built. So you had to have towers to guard your base, and then you had to have catapults to make sure you attack from afar, because you just couldn't really rush into a lot of these battles in the Dark Portal. But what was also cool is, the Dark Portal expanded on the story, saying like, hey, we have these new heroes like Khadgar, and then there's Ner'zhul, who, if you read the Warcraft lore, he becomes someone pretty big, and Orgrim Doomhammer actually loses the war, but he's a prisoner under Lordaeron's rule or something like that. Now, if there's one thing I have to say, which is my personal favorite thing about this game, it would be the map editor. Oh my god, did I spend hours upon hours making my own maps in this game. Yeah, it was kind of funny. The first map I ever made was when the movie The Rock with the Sean Connery, the Nicolas Cage, Ed Harris movie, which is my favorite movie of all time, was new when I played this game. So I built a map that was like Alcatraz Island, where you had to play as Goodspeed and Masons, a souped-up soldier and a souped-up mage, trying to get past The Rock. And it was a really cool map. I mean, if I had a floppy drive again, which I could probably buy a USB floppy drive, I'd probably upload it. And also, the good news about this game is I was actually able to play this game online multiplayer with my cousin. And my cousin was like an expert at this game. I got him into this game. He absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, he made even more crazy maps than I did. So when I played him and his friends online with my 33K modem, he did this really asshole trick where he would go to my gold mine, he would build an arrow tower. So whenever my peons or my peasants would go get gold, they would die. I was like, what the fuck, man? But that was really freaking ingenious. Oh boy, so I probably talk about how much I love this game long enough. So if you want to play this game, you probably have to get the original CDs off eBay. And I know there's the Warcraft II Battle.net edition, which I have, which works probably up to Windows XP, but I heard that it doesn't work on 7 or 8 or 10 or modern computers. And I heard Blizzard is working on making these games playable on modern computers, but they haven't made any progress with it, so you have to play these games on DOSBox. So Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, and Beyond the Dark Portal are truly games that withstand the test of time, and if you can play them, believe me, you will not be disappointed. Oh, and also, if you insert this game in a regular CD player, you can hear not only the game music, but there's this really cool remix at the end. Alright, so that wraps up my memories about Warcraft 2, and if you have any memories about this game, make sure to leave those in the comments below, and take care!
I'm a medieval man.